husband, who married into my family 10 years ago, had no idea I'd planned to transfer 15% of the company's shares to him. That all changed on the day of our physical exam. As two type O blood types, my husband and I should never have had a son with type A blood. Staring at the little boy who looked just like a mini version of my husband, I said nothing. Instead, I calmly did two things. First, I secretly pulled a strand of my son's hair. My husband, who married into my family 10 years ago, after watching Jack walk into school, I turned around and headed straight for a paternity testing center. How soon can I get the expedited results?
Regular service takes 5 working days. For expedited, it'll be ready by 4 p.m. today, but the fee is triple.
My hands trembled as I submitted the samples, swabbing the inside of my cheek before sitting in the waiting area, staring at the clock as each minute dragged by. In the meantime, I contacted a private detective. I need to investigate my husband, Robert Carter, especially his whereabouts over the past few months. At 3:40 p.m., my phone rang. The results were in. Based on DNA analysis, the probability of a parent-child relationship between Laura Mitchell and Jack Carter is 0.0001%. Genetic marker testing does not support Laura Mitchell as Jack Carter's biological mother. Even though I'd braced for it, panic washed over me for a split second. I leaned against the wall to steady myself. He's not my child. I'd raised a boy who wasn't mine for 9 years. So where was my real child? I rushed to the maternal and child hospital where I'd given birth 9 years ago, and asked to see the obstetrician, who delivered my baby, now the department director. I need to access my delivery records and hospital files.
It's been so long, those files might have been archived.
After some hassle, the archivist brought me a folder. I flipped through it to find barely any details, only admission and discharge dates, delivery method, and the newborn's weight. No detailed birth process, no nurse handover logs, no pediatrician checkup reports. That's all?
That's everything in the system. Obstetric records are usually kept for 10 years, and yours is almost expiring.
What about the newborn's footprints? The blood test records?
Those should be in the newborn's file, but we can't find it.
It was obvious something was wrong. An overly vague medical record, a missing newborn file, and a son who looked just like my husband but wasn't biologically mine. My phone rang. It was Robert.
Where are you? I picked up Jack already.
I'd completely lost track of time. School had ended hours ago. Luckily, I told the teacher I might be late.
Have you eaten? I'm handling something outside. I'll be home soon.
I replied before hanging up. After dinner, I excused myself to my room early, claiming a headache. Robert stayed in the living room helping Jack with homework, their voices drifting in faintly.
Is Mom mad?
Mom's just tired. Finish your homework and go to bed early.
Once everyone was asleep, I searched the entire house. Our bedroom, the living room, Jack's room, but found nothing. As soon as they were gone, I rushed to the study and turned on the computer. I heard footsteps outside. I quickly closed the document. When Robert pushed the door open, I was tidying the desk. He glanced at the screen, which had returned to our desktop wallpaper, a photo of us at the beach 3 years ago.
Aren't you asleep yet?
Just organizing some old files, I replied, shutting off the monitor.
Rest early.
I sat in the dark, listening to his footsteps fade away. That night, I didn't open the computer again. I lay in bed, my thoughts in chaos. The next morning, I still asked Robert to drop Jack off at school. He looked at me, grabbed his car keys, and left. As soon as they were gone, I rushed to the study and turned on the computer. I tried our wedding anniversary as the password, wrong. His birthday, wrong. Jack's birthday, still wrong. I tried the date we first met, his mother's birthday, the day the company was founded, all incorrect. The system prompted me to try again in Jack 5 minutes. I stared at the login screen. The computer we'd bought together was now locked against me. That evening, Robert came home from work.
I'm going on a business trip to Philadelphia tomorrow. Not sure how long I'll be gone.
I brought dishes out of the kitchen. So sudden? Who are you going with?
He set his briefcase on the table and turned to me, annoyed.
Laura, do you have to ask everything? Can't you just trust me? It's just work.
I turned back to serving rice, my hands trembling. I was just asking casually. He said nothing and went straight to the bedroom. Dinner was silent. Jack, sensing the tension, didn't complain about his food for once. After Robert finished showering, he picked up his coat from the sofa to hang it up. A receipt fell out of his pocket and landed at my feet. I picked it up. It was for an expensive bottle of perfume, purchased the afternoon before. I didn't recognize the brand, but I knew it wasn't for me. In 10 years of marriage, Robert had never given me another gift. I'd always made excuses for him. He was unromantic, busy with work, just a down-to-earth guy. Now I realized, it wasn't that he couldn't be romantic. He just reserved that romance for someone else. Early the next morning, after Robert left for the airport, I called the perfume counter. I need to check a receipt from yesterday afternoon. One moment. Found it. The purchaser was Ms. Chloe Miller. The name rang a bell. Chloe was Robert's secretary, hired 6 months ago, a divorced woman in her 30s. On my way to the airport, I wondered what I was hoping to confirm. Maybe the perfume was a gift for a client? Maybe I was overthinking. I waited outside the International Departure Hall for half an hour before spotting Robert Carter with her. Chloe was wearing a beige trench coat, pulling a small suitcase as she walked beside Robert. He had a relaxed smile on his face, the kind I hadn't seen in years. At the security checkpoint, Chloe stopped and naturally adjusted Robert's collar. He didn't pull away. He leaned down and whispered something in her ear, making her laugh. She then tiptoed and kissed him on the lips, his hand resting on her waist for a long moment before they pulled apart. It was a gesture of long familiarity. My last shred of self-deception vanished. All those late nights working overtime, all those impatient looks, now I knew why. As I watched their intimate interaction, a suspicion crept into my mind. Could the child who wasn't mine be related to this woman? On my drive back, I called the private detective again. I need you to investigate someone else, Chloe Miller. I want to know everything about her, especially if she has any children. The detective worked fast. The next afternoon, I received his report. Chloe Miller, 32, divorced 5 years ago, with a Jack 0-year-old son named Ethan Miller, who attended a primary school in the western part of the city. That date hit me like a punch. Chloe's son was only 1 week younger than Jack. 10 years. For the first time, I felt my blood boil. I sat on the sofa, clutching the detective's report, and a terrible thought took shape. I ran to the study, my fingers hovering over the keyboard. Slowly, I typed in Chloe's birthday. The desktop unlocked. There was only one folder, labeled Work Backups. I opened it to find subfolders organized by year, starting from 10 years ago. In the oldest folder were scanned old photos. Robert and Chloe, in school uniforms, standing under a pagoda tree. 19-year-old Robert was smiling, his arm around Chloe's shoulders. She had a ponytail and was looking up at him. The next photo was from college. They were in the library. Then a graduation photo, both wearing bachelor's gowns, holding hands. That was the same year Robert had told me the company was in trouble, and we canceled our wedding anniversary trip. I closed the folder, my stomach churning. 10 years of lies. Staring at our wedding photo on the desktop, I felt sick to my stomach. At 3 p.m., I drove to the western part of the city. The primary school was even older than the detective had described. When the school bell rang, children poured out of the gate. I sat in the car, gripping the steering wheel. He walked out alone, no one came to pick him up. He looked left and right, then walked slowly along the sidewalk. I held my breath. That child, Ethan Miller. No, that's my son.